Hi there. In this episode, songwriting organizations. Are they worth joining? The short answer is yes. The long answer is maybe. First, let's talk about what they are. Generally, they are an entity that has been established with the goal to help musicians break into the commercial world of music as songwriters. They are often non-profit organizations, but they can be for profit. They are most often regional or highly localized, meaning they may cover several counties, like for example, the San Francisco Bay Area, or they may be limited to a city or metro area within one county. To fulfill their goal, they offer regular events like education, song screenings, competitions, and the larger ones may hold a yearly conference, which is widely attended by industry professionals, members, and non-members. Most organizations will have a yearly membership fee that generally runs in the range of around $100 to several $100s. Educational sessions and song screenings will often have an additional nominal cost of around $5 to $20 a song. The yearly conference may be several $100s, depending on if it covers one day or multiple days. The more sophisticated the organization, generally the higher the cost to join and participate. Better organizations will have a regular monthly schedule of events, a professional web presence, at least one full-time administrator, and many volunteers. The industry credits that their members wield may be an indication of their success and what they can offer you. This doesn't mean that a small organization in a small town with a handful of members can't help you. But sometimes you have to determine if it's better to be a remote member of a larger organization in a music center, such as Nashville or LA, rather than a member of a ragtag local organization that can't offer you much. If the organization has a web presence, comb through it. Have their members had success because of their membership in the organization? Try to separate the sales pitch from any concrete success of the members or lack thereof. Song screenings are the bread and butter of these types of organizations. For most members, that's why they join. Sometimes you don't have to be a member to pitch a song at a song screening. It just costs more. Other times you need to be a member, but you can generally become a member and pitch at the first song screening you attend. Some orgs will send out a tip sheet with the visiting professional's bio, including professional credits and the types of songs they are looking for. You should definitely read the tip sheets. You can also do a little research on the web. It's mostly pointless to pitch song genres in which publishers have no interest, like hip-hop songs to a Nashville publisher and vice versa. Do your homework and maximize the opportunity. Some song screenings allow you to only pitch one song. Others allow you to pitch two or more, depending on how many members show up and how much time is available. How much of your song the reviewer listens to is up to them and their personal preference. A verse and a chorus is usually the least, and sometimes they'll listen to more. It's rare that they'll listen to an entire song, but it does happen. It's happened to me. I once attended a song screening where the publisher was very patient, listening to an acoustic guitar intro for over 2 minutes. He finally stopped playback and asked the songwriter when the first verse was going to start. "It's about a 7-minute intro," the songwriter replied. The publisher bowed his head and sighed. He resumed playback. I'll tell you that most publishers are not that patient. At these song screenings, you should be pitching to an industry professional, such as a music publisher, a music producer, or a music supervisor. It's a waste of your time and money to pitch to folks that can't get you a cut, meaning a publishing deal or some other paid industry agreement. Such people can include local DJs and other members that have been successful and will give you feedback but have no industry power to get you a deal. Many orgs have a monthly works in progress meeting. This is where you can play your finished songs and works in progress for other members. This is the venue to get feedback and help. If you arrive at a location for a song screening and you're told that the industry professional had to cancel, but your songs will be heard by another member, go home unless the review will be free or you have the time. If you're not pitching songs, many orgs will still allow you to attend song screenings free of charge. And even if you are pitching, make the most of your time. Listen to other folk songs. How do your songs measure up? Are your songs better crafted? Worse? About the same? How about your production values? This is not just a pitching session, it's a learning session. Chances are this industry professional will be back. It's not just about the comments they give you on your songs. You should be analyzing the feedback others get on their songs. It may also apply to you on other songs you have. It may also give you insight into the types of songs they like and are taking. Not all song screening professionals give feedback. On one end of the spectrum, some give you a no and no explanation. On the other end of the spectrum, you get relatively detailed feedback. The important thing is to listen. Bring a notebook and take notes on everything. I have this Apple interview hypo, which I think is pertinent. Imagine you were the first interviewee for your dream job at Apple. You think you kind of bombed the interview, but you're not sure. Then you turn on your invisibility cloak and you go and you sit in a chair. You watch every other applicant come in after you and pitch themselves to the Apple executive, saying they want the job. How valuable would that information be to watch other interviewees? That's exactly what you're doing at a song screening. Screeners will often allow you to ask questions, but if they've said no to your song, don't what if them to death. Like, what if I change this? What if I change that? Then would you be interested in my song? If it's not a yes, just take the feedback they gave you and move on. They will say practically anything to shut you up, and there are other people's songs to be heard. Think of it this way. If the song is that amazing, but there are a few issues with it, they might say yes and get a new demo recorded. More likely is that they need a better version to pitch without investing time and money, at least their time and money. So they might say, change X, change Y, change Z, get it to me, here's my business card. I need a better version so I can pitch it. I've seen people do that. I've seen publishers do that. Change this, change that, and then hand them their card. Remember, you're pitching your songs to them, and then they have to turn around and pitch it to others in the industry. It's an uphill battle through a chain of industry professionals. And good and great songs fall by the wayside on the journey to ultimately getting a cut by the artist that also gets released. You must have a thick skin, and if you're sensitive to rejection, this may not be the vocation for you. There is a saying in martial arts, the average time for a student to get from a white belt to a black belt is never. Most people give up. They get discouraged. It's the same with this business. You need perseverance tempered with an objective self-evaluation of how good you are at your craft. What I'm talking about here is an objective view of commercial viability. This doesn't mean that you can't love what you do, but you either have to maintain faith that you will eventually get there, or that success to you might mean simply doing what you love, whether you get recognition for it or not. Professionalism at song screenings and other org events is a must. I had attended several dozen song screenings before I witnessed an unprofessional event. The screening professional thanked the songwriter for his submission, as they usually do, but said that he would pass on the song. The songwriter sprung up from his chair, making it screech back across the floor. He stormed up to the table with the publisher and an assistant who had just pulled the songwriter's CD from the player. He snatched the CD from the assistant's hand and glared at the publisher. "You'll regret this. This song is going to be a big hit." He quickly exited from the venue. The publisher didn't miss a beat. He asked the assistant to play the next song. I imagine this happens quite a bit. It was probably 3 more years before I witnessed another similar event. I was sitting in the back of the venue because I wasn't pitching, and I saw how jarring it was to the other writers. Many of them jumped in their seats like you might if you were watching a scary movie. It was startling to me, but I'd seen it before. Some takeaways here are, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. You should always be professional in your dealings with everyone. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. If your song doesn't get taken, it doesn't mean you have to like it, but treat it for what it is, a learning opportunity, and be polite. It may not even mean that your song is not viable, but once you've pitched it a few times to folks interested in that type of music and you've been unsuccessful, it's probably time to pitch something else. With regards to learning, some professionals are happy to stay after screenings to answer questions and share information. I recall one publisher in particular. I'll just give his name as John, and his name was John. I went to several song screenings where he was the industry professional, and one in particular where a handful of us were still there close to midnight listening to his great stories. It was cool stuff and very educational. Joining a songwriting org is a personal choice. Some songwriters and musicians are introverts, and it's not for them. Some folks join for the sole purpose of networking. Perhaps they have a recording studio or other related services that they want to pitch to members. These kind of folks don't even pitch their own songs. They don't have songs. They're not songwriters. This brings me to pay for play and song pitching services. I was thinking of doing a separate video on this, but I believe it fits in fine right here, and I'll be brief. Pay for play. I haven't seen any ads for this type of service in a while, but I also haven't really looked, and it bears mentioning. Perhaps with digital delivery of music, these services have ceased to exist, but I don't know for sure, and I want you to be aware of them. The pitch by services that do this is that they will take your song, put it on an album, copies would be pressed into vinyl or CDs, they would copyright your song so that it appears in copyright form in the US Copyright Office. You pay them a fee to do this, and it's generally a substantial fee, $500 or more. They also send you a few copies of the CD. This is essentially the opposite of what you truly want, which is a professional in the industry, such as a publisher, having an interest in one of your songs, signing you to a publishing deal, getting a cut by an artist, and paying you. Don't fall for this garbage. You can copyright your own songs for a lot less. I have an episode on how to do that. Moving on. Song pitching services. This is where you pay an organization a fee to pitch for you. You can think of it as a subscription or membership fee. Sometimes it's for a duration of a year or several years. The org sends you tip sheets telling you that industry professionals are looking for certain types of songs or music. There are usually instructions for how to submit your work. It may go directly to the industry professional or through a screening process by the org. And it's only referred if they think your work is good enough. Orgs like this tend to be impersonal, meaning your submissions are electronic. You're unlikely to ever talk with anyone. And while you may get feedback in an email or text, you don't know for sure if anyone listened to your work. We live in a high-tech world, but physically going to a song screening is more than just pitching a song. It's meeting with other members, talking to industry professionals, and getting feedback directly from experts. Lastly, the pros and cons of joining a songwriting org. A lot of this is probably self-evident from what I've already said. It's a great place to meet other songwriters, forge partnerships, and collaborate. As I've mentioned, you get to benchmark your songs by hearing other songwriters' work, and you can determine where you fall in the hierarchy. It can be very motivational. It can also be soul-sucking. The carcasses of your failed pitches can pile up around you like mounds of feces. But hang in there. Don't give up. Where there is perseverance, there is hope. And on that note, hopefully I haven't wasted your time. Take care, and I'll be back in another episode soon.